And hello, everyone. Thanks for joining me tonight. I will be reviewing the sky map for the Kansas City shootings that took place today around 2 p.m. in Kansas City, Missouri during the Chiefs Victory Parade. And this is just unbelievable. If you've ever lived in a small town with a sense of community, it is it's such a nice day to be able to be happy and get together with the community and just have fun. It's important for the kids to get out and socialize. Everybody's always inside. What a great time to get out and just have that interaction with your fellow neighbors, and something like this has to happen. So, hi, Eda Silva and Toy. It's just unbelievable. So, we're going to take a look at the charts. I've got quite a few of them, and we're going to see what we can see. All right, so let me get that open for you. We saw some hints of it in the days that were leading up to this, and I'm not sure if you remember, but we were looking at the Kansas City, Missouri transits during the Kansas City, Missouri deaths that occurred at the residential home of an HIV scientist. So we were looking at that then. And now this is the transits for February 14th. This is the chart, the birth chart for Kansas City, Missouri. And you can see these. I think I even said when we were talking about it, it's a group of men. It looks like 3 men or a group of men. Often planets can show, a person. So we've got 3 people, and then there's a square here to really Pluto and Uranus. This is a huge, huge shock. And this is actually happening in the Kansas City, Missouri chart. So you can consider the fact that people are saying, what is this world coming to? And we're not safe anymore. But if you're looking at the astrology, you know that this just had to take place due to this energy that was coming in, and it will disperse and go away. Hey, Adam 5454. Hi, Ufta. So we're looking at this Mars and Pluto. This is a male homicide or a male murderer here. Interesting that there's a female possibly in there too, but it could show a lot of money. And I'm thinking that might have to do with something. It's the 12th house, could be some hidden things, big shock that happens. And so I think also with the Kansas City, Missouri chart for today, this is the transits for today. Look at how Saturn is basically moving over the sun and Neptune. This is just a lot of sadness, a lot of depression, and Saturn in the 10th can show kind of like the Grim Reaper comes into the public. Good to see you, M. Taylor. I know, Robin. Thank you for coming in. So we automatically see some real malefic planets here in the 10th house, and they're all, starting to come into the 12th too, which can represent criminals in jail. And so Mercury represents, from what I can rectify for Missouri or Kansas City, Missouri. And so Mercury will be really the chart ruler is having Saturn, the Grim Reaper, move over it. Saturn, you can see in your own chart when it moves over, if it moves over your sun or if it's your ruling planet, it can demonstrate depression, even, hearing about deaths and feeling sad. So this is happening, and it's going over into Pisces, over moving to the 11th house. So it's going to be a lot of sadness in public right now with the 10th house. Saturn representing sad. Now, I wonder if you remember when we did the horary the other day, and there was something that I saw that I didn't wanna, I think you guys saw it too, but we were looking at who was gonna win, and we saw 22 here. And, you know, in the back of my mind, I'm like, "Oh, that's looks like a bunch of murderers in there." But of course, I didn't wanna say that for horary, for something that's as fun as a game. But how that would play out with the horary, and of course, the horary is asking a simple question, who's gonna win the Super Bowl? And here we have right in front of us a group of killers. 22 is killers, Mercury is a group, Mars is weapons, a group of weapons or men. And in Saturn or in Capricorn, that can show dark complexions. So it's the other thing you could do for this kind of chart too is see that Mars, which means athletes, is um, in Capricorn. So you saw a lot of African American athletes on the field too, which could be some of this Capricorn right here. So weird how in that horary, who will win the Super Bowl, we could see in the fifth house of parties and families, there would be somebody in there who had basically a gun. And of course, this is for the victory parade that happened today, February 14th. Crazy stuff. All right, so we're going to look at the crime chart. Toy said, I told everyone that came over for Super Bowl it would go into overtime and they would win. And then I said I wouldn't go to the parade because I feel bad about it. Really bad vibes. Wow. That's amazing. I know. It's just so, so sad. Hey, Empress Black Tarot. Maybe if you have your cards near, you can give us a card or give us a reading or something. Empress Black Tarot has a YouTube, so glad to see you. And now I'm going to go to, whoa, good one. Okay, so that was another clue in that chart too. Interesting. All right, so now we are in the crime chart. This is for 2. I think it was around 2 today, February 14th, 2024, 2 p.m. And the victims are in Cancer. This is the moon. Moon is the public. And often you're going to see Jupiter and the moon as like famous people. So I think there were famous people that were out there in public. And so this is the basically the general public, plus there are famous people, and it's in the 11th house of community. So they're up there and they're happy. When Jupiter means happy. So when it's next to the moon, it's a really happy, excited public. And it's in Taurus. That could mean people who maybe they're just eating and they're just having fun. Maybe they're cooking out. I don't know. But that's a possibility. And we're going to look over here. When you see a crime with Moon and Saturn, I should say Cancer, opposing Capricorn, well, these are very, very deadly signs that are opposing each other. They are the mortal enemies. So either side of the elliptic, you're going to see whether it's Cancer here or Capricorn here, it's going to show some kind of, from what I've seen, death. So we've got the 7th house of perpetrators in Capricorn, and Saturn is up here in the 9th house. Now, this is a really good example of when you see trines and it is a bad thing. Why? Because this person right here, or people, has direct access to this happy public, to a lot of people in public. They go straight to them. They know exactly how to get to them. And it's in the 9th house, which makes me think that one or more of them might have some foreign names because we have Saturn, which represents the perp or perps. In Pisces, Pisces is foreign, ninth house is foreign. Maybe a double confirmation that we're looking at some kind of foreign activity there. Now, remember that Pisces is also drugs, and we have got some really big indicators here of drugs. And you can see Neptune right at the top. We see that so often in these charts when there is a drug involved of some sort. Now, this could be pretty substantial where there's something kind of, I would say, bigger behind this. I don't know if it was just these people who were just randomly wanting to kill people and it was an isolated incident. I feel like there might be more involved here. So I don't know. What do you guys get from that? I'm thinking that because of this group right here, now this is also going to represent a group of people who are basically shocking this group here, this public. Look who they are. Boom. And they've got guns. So you can look at it that way as well. So it's almost like there's one person who did the research, 8 degrees, and found out what to do, started planning it. This one person was the planner, might have been an older type, Saturn. And you might see, sometimes you see people with blue eyes if it's in Pisces. But in this case, we've got a guy here, could have a foreign name, and then these people here. And they just want to shock. They happen to be in the 8th house as well. And the 8th house represents the murderer as well. It represents the victims because of the victims are inside here. So what we want to do is, this Saturn, this represents the 8th house too. So it looks as if sometimes Capricorn and Saturn can show a dark complexion and maybe somebody who could be a little bit older. So much is happening in Aquarius. And that to me shows that there's something that has to do with something online. And they're using some kind of technology to basically attack the public. This looks like, it looks like warfare to me. A lot bigger than what is being made out right now with the Mars and the Pluto. That's a lot of weapons. And it's almost like some kind of exchange online, secret exchange online for weapons. So maybe they have that's where they got their weapons from. All right. So now what I want to do is just look at some of the updates here and then we'll come back. Okay. And I am actually going to refresh this in case we have new updates. Hey, Susie, nice to see you. So we have what we know so far. Shots were fired at the end of the Chiefs victory parade and rally in downtown Kansas City, Missouri on Wednesday. One person was killed, 21 others were shot, including children. 3 people are in custody. Officials say they do not believe the motive was terrorism. And here's something that's really interesting that I saw. Let's see. Something about, they were talking about the violence. I think there's been like 45 shootings since the beginning. Let's see. There were 800 law enforcement officers there and tight security. And the mayor was even on here. Let's look at it.
The situation here we're trying to keep an eye on.
Our Kansas City station KSHB was broadcasting live.
The mood has definitely shifted here as we're seeing everybody jump barriers.
As the shots rang out, confusion in the crowd. As some fans began to flee,
they said active shooter, and then so we just dropped down to the ground. My daughter tried to climb on top of me to protect me, and I tried to just hold her so nothing would happen to her.
Police rushed in, searching for the shooter. The police chief says the response was immediate, with more than 800 officers already on scene for the parade.
I'm angry at what happened today. The people who came to this celebration should expect a safe environment.
The injured carried out on stretchers. A sniper stood ready on a nearby rooftop. 3 law enforcement officials briefed on the case tell NBC News the shooting is believed to be criminal in nature and not terrorism. Before the parade, I asked the mayor about plans to keep the event safe.
Our police department's prepared for whatever comes our way.
The mayor says all Chiefs players, coaches, and staff are accounted for and safe. Tonight, the Chiefs writing in a statement, "We are truly saddened by this senseless act of violence." And 3 days after winning the Super Bowl, Patrick Mahomes posting, praying for Kansas City.
Jesse, what is the latest on the investigation?
Police say 3 people have been detained tonight, Lester, and authorities are looking into the possibility one of them was captured on camera being tackled by bystanders. Lester?
All right, Jesse.
Tonight. Got a lot of news now about shootings, which we were really expecting because of Mars going to 0 degrees. And with Pluto at 0 degrees, this is lots and lots of fighting, people saying that they're angry, being angry. A lot of men, a lot of people in red. We are really, we're really experiencing that Mars energy right now. Wanda, you're saying, interesting that I heard someone on YouTube give a prophetic word that something would happen around the Super Bowl, and he heard what happens in Vegas won't stay in Vegas. I remember that. Yes, he wasn't going to be there. I wonder if he is an astrologer, because there were a lot of people who knew about that Mars with Pluto, and it's a lot of outrage, and you wonder, well, what's from that outrage? And of course, it's going to be something that has to do with guns. So, KKFI DJ Lisa Lopez, host of Taste of Teano, lost her life. That is so sad. Ugh. It just hurts. Okay. So now I'm going to go to, where is it? I think it's this one. Nope, not this one. Where is it? 1 second, guys. Here we go. All right. So, we're looking at this, Mars, well, it's at 1 degree now. That's a double Mars. So, 0 degrees is the raw energy, but we've got Mars passing on now and coming out of that a little bit, but it's not safe until it goes a few degrees. Okay. And so this is the crime chart. I think it's going to be around 2:00 this afternoon that we would pull it for, and Moon would represent the victims. And here is the shock of gunfire. Aquarius is guns. No, Aquarius is shock. Mars in Aquarius is fast gunfire, just rapid gunfire. And, I feel like there's not really a lot of safety until Mars can come out of Aquarius. And it just means, bullets flying, basically. So now we've got something else here, which is interesting. And this is, Pluto is a homicide. And we've got this mini grand trine here. Now, the point of this chart, of this event was Scorpio. Scorpio in fifth house is, the murder of, murder in an event, basically. Fifth house is events, parties, parades, anytime anybody's having fun. Now, the Lord of the fifth house of fun is Venus. So going right there, it shows there is a lot of anger about something that has to do with a party. But what's interesting is, let's see, boy, I'm really scribbling here. There's something that has to do with Neptune, and that would be, it is broken glass. Let's think about it that way. Mars, Pluto in Aquarius. And, okay, hold on one second. These are some crazy people that come on here. And crazy, I don't really mean crazy. I mean really crazy. Hey, Shauna. Sorry, I didn't mean to offend. Now we've got... Yeah, so look at that Neptune. That's way up at the top. And we saw that with the Kansas City deaths at the home of the HIV scientist. We saw it with the Delphi case where there's some kind of drug element there. I wonder if this has to do with something behind, like these people, these perpetrators might have something to do with the drug industry. And I don't mean pharmaceuticals. And let's see. The third house at the point of this event, this is what people are talking about. And it's pretty much in the Regulus territory. So they're talking about basically dominating, being the kings, and really being excited about the fact that, they were probably talking about the 49ers too, because that's Leo representing gold. So they were talking about the win. And yeah, notice also how North Node is at 18 degrees. This is, this is the snake. It's at the top. It's in the 10th house. The snake is in Aries, representing the chief. So evil snake up there in the 10th house of being in the public. So, and I wonder, sometimes Neptune can show people who are drinking and having fun, especially pointed at the 5th house. So these are a lot of drinkers, maybe just celebrating, celebratory types of toasting. But really, this is our profile here, the 9th house, Saturn. And then we have, it's almost like a threesome here of, 3 people who murdered. And now Venus is going to represent, like I said, the party. But there's a possibility there's also a female involved here. Might have dark hair, with Capricorn representing a, dark complexion, dark things. So, yeah, that's what I was thinking, Wanda. Do we see anything about documents? I wonder why you're asking. Maybe you had pulled a card. Let's see. Well, documents would be Gemini and Mercury in the 8th house. Yep. And that's online documents. So Aquarius will be online documents, and something here with Uranus. So could be a break-in. Let's see. Oops. Yeah, this square here with the online documents goes to Uranus. So something where 8th house could be something secret. Sometimes these crimes happen because they want to distract from something else. And so there's a possibility that this could have been some type of distraction to keep from people noticing Mercury. So yeah, absolutely. I think I see documents there that's right in the middle of everything. Okay, interesting. Twice. That's amazing. Yeah, that's a possibility. Wow. Okay. And yeah, and with you see this red line, and this is part of fortune. This would show what the event, basically how it would end, and it would be the success falls. There's no success. And then notice in the MC, it's 18 degrees of Pisces. I really think, and especially with that Kansas City case in, the residential murder, well, not murders, but I think it was more accidental, but that was almost an omen. It had something to do with drugs. And so here we are. We've got something with drugs. So these people might have been on something, to say the least. I don't know. Yeah. Okay. This is, if we wanted to do a February chart for a city, this is what Kansas City's chart looks like. And the way that I do this is the ascendant is going to be February 1st. And it's going to be the month, but you can also look at the week. So you could do, let's see, 14. You could actually do this like the degree theory, and you could use the second house as the 14th. Okay, so this is February 14th. And look, it's right in Pluto, which is basically, murders. So this, you count all the way around. This would be the 11th of February, the 12th of February. This is the 13th, and this is the 14th of February. So you could do it that way. And you could also do, this would be the first week, second week, third week. And so what is ruling the third week? It would be Jupiter. Jupiter is a happy planet. Everybody's super, super happy. But there's something that just is completely shocking. And that is the sun in Aquarius is squaring that. So it's also trining Venus there's that Venus again. This could be a female that is involved in this somehow. I don't get that there was, because they've already apprehended 3 people, but we're seeing a couple of confirmations that there could be a female. Now, also in this third week of February, you're seeing Mars and you're seeing Mercury. And if you look at the predictions video, we were talking a lot about Mercury and or Mars and Mercury, which is like 2 shooters, 2 gunmen or more, because it's like a group here, all in Capricorn. So, at the very least, dark hair. So the biggest thing here for this chart is the sun is in Aquarius. This is like right here. It's in the 4th house. And this is going to be the 4th, first, second, third. This will be the 4th week of February. And we're going to hear about the architect of this. This sun is coming in next week. We're going to hear about it. Okay, thanks, Jennifer. It's being reported that a 44-year-old immigrant and 3 teens were arrested that killed 1 and injured 22 others. Sahil Omar is the 44-year-old, and the teens were all Muslim and support Hamas. That is interesting, because in the beginning they were saying this, we don't think this has anything to do with terrorism. So sometimes it's because they're trying to watch their backs. They don't want people suing them saying that they were terrorists. I agree. So 3 teens. Sahil and the teens were all Muslim. Wow. So there's Saturn, you've got that older person, And then you've got that group of basically the shooters. They're the older person is telling them or leading them along. That's pretty interesting. Okay. And so this sun, this is going to be something pretty shocking next week. And so this is coming in. I think if anything, we're going to probably see a lot of information online that's coming out, but could be yet another surprise that's happening to these people. 22, isn't it interesting how 22 are injured? Really saw that in the chart, especially that Super Bowl chart. Oh, that's right. Yeah, they say that years with leap years are not exactly auspicious sometimes. All right. And the other thing too is for February, you see how the moon is the public. South node is despair, public despair. And 22 is over the murders. And it's like the public disappears. You can also see the public and it's squaring Mars, showing just such anger, so much anger. Very sad. And also noting that the ascendant for the chart for February for Kansas City is at 29 degrees. So it's a weak month. It is something that starts at 29 degrees. That's definitely a weaker type of energy there. Yeah. Okay. So so we've got a group of people here. This 8th house really shows us, it's going to be interesting about the Aquarius. Sometimes that means engineering and science stuff. But obviously this is a foreign person. It's like a foreign person in charge. And he's a murderer. 8 degrees is a murderer. And this is the profile of the person. So Capricorn showing the dark complexion. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Cindy. Yeah, it's scary. Neptune and Saturn equals strict religion Muslim. Thank you, Ninja. Yeah, that's absolutely true. Look at that. It's amazing. So yeah, this is the religion. And Saturn is like, they're going to die for the religion. 8 degrees, death, Saturn strict. Yet you've got that little T-square, or not T-square, mini grand trine here. And, 9th house sometimes shows that it's a planned type of thing. But is there any squares here? That's the other thing too, is sun sometimes means that's like the mayor. So it's very possible the mayor is going to say something shocking. It's going to really upset maybe some of the people. Sun is the boss, but it can also represent the co-ruler of, a murderer. There's the sun there. And you could say that this is the mayor. Oops. So you got a square to the vertex, a square to Uranus. This person is like shocked out of their mind. And sometimes in the 9th house, like where the killer is, this could also be another planner here. Maybe someone who is kind of monitoring online. It's kind of like a foreign boss. So this could be a foreign boss of some sort. Sun would mean boss. Crazy. I wish I could see something that crosses or squares Saturn so that we could see where their problem is. It's interesting. The next aspect, Saturn is going to the MC. And so it's going to fall here. But there's going to be this part that helps them. And that's Uranus. This is online money that they're going to get somehow. And it's going to help them, with their case somehow, I think. So, like I said, Saturn is going to move here next. And so then you have to look at, how it's applying to this. And of course, you've got Black Moon Lilith. So this is somebody super shady here. And they're able to get around that basically destruction of what they represent. They're able to do something. Now, Uranus also represents, it's weird. I wonder if there's Taurus is Jews. So this could really have something to do, with the religion there. But so strange how Uranus in the 11th house in Taurus, that's like, the Jewish community is online and they're able to monitor something that they're doing online. And the reason I say that they're able to, because you can see once Jupiter moves here, Saturn moves here, it's going to sextile and aspect Uranus, which is going to be something really fast. So something's going to be really fast, or some kind of access to the Jewish community is opening up for them. I don't know what that means necessarily, but I hope that means that they're able to get the right people fast and take them to justice. I don't know. What do you guys think? Yeah, it's really weird. I was thinking about that too. Yep. It's like, what do you guys know? It seems like a couple of people. Oh my God, that is so true. You're very welcome. Yeah, Ninja, that's such a good point that you made. Yep, so friendship. So let's look at superstar Taylor Swift in this chart and how she's not there. And it's going to be, okay, I think it's going to be Venus. She's a Capricorn, remember? And when you sextile Neptune, that's singing. That's somebody who sings. And she wants to have fun. But these people here, these could be the famous people. You see that square to her? It says, don't go. I think she wanted to go. She wanted to maybe sing some songs or something. Look at how that trine goes to basically the planet of singing, and it hits the 5th house of fun. So she was all about it. She was like, yeah, let's do it. And then that square there. So what did they know? Did they know anything? It seems like they might have. Why? Because you see this connection here with this person. It's almost like there's a connect there. So maybe they just had an idea. Now, moon sometimes can mean psychic, very intuitive. And they just had a feeling that this was going to happen. Not sure. Post to evacuate posted at 2:02. Interesting. Okay, so this is at 2. This is probably right in the middle of it. She's a Capricorn ascendant, from what you can see online anyway. We've got different things for her, but I think she's a Cap ascendant. So just before 2. Yeah. Uranus is strange. There's something coming up with, very smart people, I'll tell you that. Mercury in Aquarius is like super high level people. And they've screwed up their lives basically. But so much with that Pluto and Venus, that can show a lot of money. What is behind this money? And this is guns. So I want to say there's an element of, arms or something. And sometimes it's just like what they represented. It doesn't necessarily mean it being affected or affecting this chart, but you can see it in the background. It's like lots of guns online. So weird. Yeah, there you go. Hackers. Oh, absolutely. These people have, they say they're teens, but these people, sometimes it can show a divorced person too, or, somebody who just, they had a breakup and this was all part of, there could be an ex that's coming in. You've got Mercury here, which is a witness, but it could be the ex of somebody who is, Aquarius is an ex. And yeah, so you do have some parts of the public, which is Venus or Moon is the public, lots of public, and there is some success because of part of fortune there. But on the whole, the event is a big failure with that opposition. I know. Wonder if the planners or perps across the border and are here illegally. Maybe that would shock people awake. Yeah. I guess it's who you ask. There are a lot of people who are nervous. But, it's just, there was a song that came out about Saturn that there's a new, I guess it's one of the singers. And so I think it's really between that and also a lot of sati type of symbols right now. We're really having to deal with this. There's poverty, there's crime. We've got a few years left of this, probably 3 or 4 more years. And then things start to go back to normal again. But right now, we have to feel that energy of Saturn. A lot of times that's sadness, poverty, just not having the right resources. And also when you're in sati, some strange people come into your life. Well, that's the case for the US. Strange people are coming in, people who don't belong in this country are leading the country. And when I say coming in, I don't mean from another place. I mean sort of appearing from nowhere that don't do us any good. Yes, it is. It's very heavy. Everybody feels tired. A lot of people are negative. They don't want to go to work. They're going to work, but they are not being paid right. It's too expensive to live, really. And that's that Saturn energy that's over the US right now. And it needs to move off. So we just have to be patient. A lot of times it has to do with being patient. So yes, thank you, Ninja. Sometimes I think to myself, people don't want to help the poor. They don't want to help charitable organizations. And that's really a remedy for this period. If you're able to get out there and help people who really need your help, obviously you want to do it out of the kindness of your heart, but it also helps make you feel better. And Saturn basically moves off of you, and that heavy feeling subsides a little bit. I know. Yes. Aquarius season with a bang, literally, no pun intended. This is wild, strange. Yeah, we were talking about it the other night. I was like, remember how I was like, everybody's in red. Taylor Swift has red lipstick on. There's a lot of Mars. Just we knew something was going to happen that had something to do with anger. So that could actually be part of this whole thing, where there's a lot of anger about something. And in Aquarius, that's foreign anger. 8th house is Scorpio, and Scorpio represents the Middle East. So that could be a possibility. It's almost like an earthquake of some sort of metaphorical earthquake. Exactly. I know. I love when he said that. Yeah, exactly. Well, I think that's pretty much all I have. But what I want to do is just keep monitoring this, see what we can find out. There's going to be more updates tomorrow, and hopefully I can come on again and we can talk about it. So I hope you guys can enjoy the rest of your night, and please pray for this community. They just seem like such a nice group of people, and something like this has to happen. So, but weird about those omens that we heard about from people saying they wouldn't show up to something like this. Yes. Thanks, TJ. There have been many mass shootings on Valentine's Day, Parkland High School shooting. Yep. I mean, we think about it as Venus, but it's also Mars too. And okay, please do. And you're very welcome. Thanks, Empress Black Tarot, for pulling some cards for us. And thank you, Cindy and Shauna. And hope you guys can join me tomorrow. I'm going to be on the members section, and then I'm also going to be doing a crime chart with Amber on that missing woman. I think she's in Spain. If she hasn't been found by Friday, I think we're going to do it on Friday. So keep an eye out. And again, happy Valentine's Day. Have a great night, guys.